Hello everyone! Today I'm happy to introduce you Maria-Pia who created the doll Friendy. And yeah, Maria-Pia, you can just go ahead and tell us about it. Who is Friendy?
Friendy is a concept with 6 different dolls with different emotions. This is happy, angry, scared, afraid, more likely, sad, grumpy and calm. Showing different expressions of emotions that we have every day, especially kids have these emotions daily and they go up and down on the emotional scale. Yeah.
And why should we as a parents be interested in it?
Because the thing with Friendy is to help children to cope with their emotions and to put into words what they feel. And when they learn that, it's easier to build new relationships. It's easier to cope with your conflicts and the problems in life. Easier to understand yourself, easier to understand other people, to develop empathy, self-control and self-esteem.
Right. So putting the words, understanding, and then building self-esteem.
Yes. Right. And to cope with strong emotions, because many kids have problems with self-control, and when they get angry, sad or afraid, they lose their temper and they don't know how to cope with what's happening inside of them. And therefore we need to help them to put into words what they feel.
Do they get interested in that, and why?
Yes, they do, because they can connect with the Friendy.
Right.
They can relate to this figure, and kids are very, I mean, they know they are in contact with their feelings. What we can do to help them is to put into words what this is all about. And if you look at this doll, it's easy to relate to it.
Right.
And you can also use the dolls together. Maybe there has been a fight and someone is sitting over here being very afraid. Someone is over here being very, very angry, and this one here is very sad. What happened here? And how can we, what are we doing now in this situation? Right. And they could start talking to each other and relate. Either you use the doll and you put your words into the doll, or you address the doll like this. So, I can see you're crying. Does that mean you're sad? What happened? Do you want to tell me? Is there anything you need? Anything I can do for you? You look very angry. Okay, I can see that. Your face is red and I can hear in your voice that you're angry. Okay, it's okay to be angry.
Right.
Yeah.
And does it work? Like, what do you have some examples of what parents or kids say? What happens?
Yes, until now the dolls have been used mostly in preschools here in Sweden, and I have lots of examples from teachers there working with the kids, telling me that how the groups, the individuals and the groups have developed self-esteem, empathy, more empathy for each other, and also managing their conflicts and problems more in a more easy way, and without the adults having to interact. And they also go back home to their families and to their parents, and they start talking to the parents about emotions and how they learn.
Okay. Yeah. Could you tell that kids can actually help parents to...
Yeah, I'm quite sure about that. That's how it's been in my family in a way.
Oh,
yes,
really?
Yes, because kids, I don't think that we have to learn the kids about their emotions. What we can do is to help them put into words what they are feeling, and help them express this maybe in a better way, because sometimes you are overwhelmed by your feelings.
You mentioned that kids help each other to manage the conflict and to resolve the situations. Can you give an example? How do they help?
Well, I've written a book which is a help for parents and teachers how to use the doll and Friendy in groups of children. And after each feeling, there's a chapter for each feeling, I suggest that they make like a map of each emotion. What is okay to do in our group when we are angry, when we are afraid, when we are grumpy or whatever. And I call that the emotional map. You can put a drawing or a picture or in the middle of this paper, and together with the children you make like a brainstorming about what can we do when we have this feeling. And you put it up on the walls, and for each feeling. And the children, they help each other when they see someone being very angry in the group. I've seen this myself. How they address each other and okay, look here on our map, what is okay to do when we are angry? How can you do this? And they look at the map and they get some ideas of what can I do with my feeling here? What can I do? I'm frustrated, I'm angry. And also one thing that kids, how they use the doll is to, when someone, for example, is very sad and is crying, they go and get that doll and they bring it to the child who is very sad. So if you're sad, you want the sad doll and well, relate to it.
We actually work with Maria-Pia together now to get out an app for kids based on the same idea. And I wanted to ask, how do you think, what will be the advantages, perhaps some disadvantages of the app versus the real doll?
With the app, it's easier to always bring it along with you in your cell phone and your iPad, of course. Easy in reach when you're driving the car, or I mean in situations where you just pick it up. So that's an advantage, of course. And you could spend a few minutes together with the child, have fun, laugh, look at it, discuss what would you do in this situation, and so on. And later on, the child will use this, use Friendy as a sort of role model, and maybe think like, what would Friendy do in this situation? What would Friendy say? And also the same with the doll, of course. The dolls, as they look today, there's 6 of them. They're quite big, so maybe you won't have them in your purse all day long. Right. But of course, they are very helpful and very hands-on.
You mentioned 6 feelings, and there are 6 dolls. Why these dolls? Why these feelings?
Well, put them up here. So if we look at happy, angry, afraid and sad, those are the basic emotions that we have. And they are expressed the same way all over the world, no matter what ethnical or cultural background you come from. So they were, of course, obvious to have in this set. But then I added Crumpy, because right. Crumpy, this is my favorite. It's not, it's sort of a forbidden feeling to be grumpy. It's not so easy to relate to a person who is grumpy.
Yeah,
you don't know where. Okay, you've been there, yeah. And it's also, I mean, when you yourself, you feel like this. I mean, you don't want to talk to anybody. I mean, it's difficult. I find it very difficult to have this feeling. So instead of just neglecting it and trying not to, pretending it's not there, just lift it out in the open and say, okay, sometimes I feel grumpy, it's okay, but what can I do? What can I do so I don't put such a bad influence in other people? Or what can I do if I'm 4 years old and my mother or my father is like this all day, or my teacher? What can I do? What have I done? Is it my fault? Maybe the kids normally think. But to give them tools to handle this, to cope with others' feelings too. And of course calm, because you need to be go back to calm, because being in these emotions costs a lot of energy. I mean, if you get really angry or really afraid, it costs a lot of energy. So you need to get back to calmness again.
When I started to work with the app, with the development of the app, and I mentioned it a few times on the blog, I was thinking we will change the future with it. What do you think? Is it possible that we change the future with the Friendy?
Of course, that's my mission.
Right.
Because I think it's really important that we help children to cope with and put into words what they feel. Because when we do that, we build them from inside, and they will go on growing up with this as a compass.
Right.
Because we make all our decisions with the emotions we have. What we are going to eat, who we will get married to, what to work with, and big and little things in life. The decisions are made in contact with our emotions. So therefore it's a compass. Is this wrong? Is this good? Is this good for me? Is it good for anybody else? And kids who grow up with this compass, in contact with this compass, have it's easier for them to live their life in the ways we want them to. We want them to be happy and loved, and we want them to have a good life, of course. So yes, of course, I believe that we can change the world. We have to do something.
Exactly. Yes. I believe this too.
Yeah.
A few last questions. So I hope people listening to us are interested, at least if they listen so far already. How can we learn more and find out more about the Friendy and what's going on?
Well, we are of course on Facebook with Friendy, and I have this website, friendy.se, where you're welcome, of course, to find more about us.
Right. Can I get a Friendy?
Yes, of course. We sell the dolls and the app, of course, and there will be some more products coming up. And we also give lectures and workshops for teachers and parents. Yes.
Yeah, the app is coming soon. If you're watching this video later, we will have a message here saying that the app is out. If there is no message yet, maybe it's not out there. If you watch this on YouTube, you will find all the information below in the description. And if it's embedded in some website, I hope there is some information too. Yeah, the last question. If I am a parent, what should I do next thing now after watching this video?
Well, I would suggest that you start by closing your eyes, get in contact with your emotions, and try to just put a word on what you're feeling. And from there, you go on. You try to learn more about yourself, listen to your emotions, and be human. Don't try to be perfect as a parent. Don't do that. Be human. Relate to and cope with your own feelings, because you are the most important person to your kid. You're a role model every day, every single minute, 24/7, and that's good. It's just the way it should be. And have fun. Have fun.
Great. Maria-Pia, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I hope our listeners liked it too, and I hope we will repeat this again later, and I will be happy to interview you again after some time.
Thank you.
Thank you.